I'm Wendy, and I'm here to teach you how to make an onion poultice today. While we're in the middle of winter, we're also in the middle of cold and flu season, and onion poultices are a natural way for you to rid the body of coughs from just a common cold. I still have kind of one, and bronchitis, croup, anything that is causing a lot of mucus and just discomfort in there. Using an onion poultice is a way that you can alleviate a lot of that congestion in the lungs. And so I want to show you how to do that, but I want to do a twist. So we're not going to be making the onion poultice with fresh onions. We're actually going to be doing it with dehydrated onions. What? We're going to use food storage or your home store. We can do it with freeze-dried. We can also do it with dehydrated or fresh onions. You have the pick of the litter, whatever you want. So let me get you started and show you how to do this. I'm going to show you what I have set up here. So I have a pan and I have my little burner. I'm going to turn my burner on. All right. I have about a cup of dehydrated onions. I'm going to get started. Put those in here, and I'm just going to get those to rehydrating using the heat. Now, if you were using freeze-dried onions, you wouldn't need as much water, or nor would it take quite as long. So I'm going to tell you a story while these are getting going here. So right before Christmas, there's nothing going on yet, so we'll just do this way. A couple weeks before Christmas, all my kids got sick. I just want to make sure my burner is working. It is. Okay. So a couple weeks before Christmas, all my kids got sick. And, and they just couldn't get rid of it. It just was this funk that wouldn't leave. And so they got better, and I gave them elderberry syrup, all sorts of different things. But my 15-year-old son, Joey, he just couldn't get rid of this cough. And it was like hacking up a lung all the time. And I was listening to him coughing while he was watching TV one day, and I thought, what in the world can I do for him? Because I don't really want to suppress it because it needs to get out. And I remembered the onion poultice. And so I don't have fresh onions in my house anymore because I only use freeze-dried onions or dehydrated, but mostly freeze-dried. In fact, I'm not using freeze-dried onions today because I've used them all and I didn't replace them, and so I'm not prepared. But I am prepared because I have dehydrated onions. So I got my dehydrated onions out, I rehydrated them and made the poultice the way you would normally make it, just using fresh onions. And so it worked perfectly, and I was tickled pink. I was so excited because I realized that I could do with food storage what I've done with fresh food for years and years and years. And so that's why I wanted to come on and show you how to do this. So they're bubbling. Let me show you what's going on here. All right, so can you see that? I've got some bubble here, and I'm just gonna let the water cook out. You didn't need a lot, and I'm really the difference between, there's a lot of differences, but one of the differences is that dehydrated onions will swell up. Freeze-dried onions will not swell up when you add the water to it. And so you can see, if you could smell, you would be able to smell too. But the water's almost gone, and I'll just cook that out. I'll just show you the difference too. Here is some freeze-dried onion slices. So they're a lot whiter, fresher looking, and they actually will hold all the enzymes in them that fresh onions have in them. The dehydrated onions will not have the same enzymes, but they still work the same for this. I'll put them in there because they started steaming. So I can use those, but those were the onion slices, and they're bigger, and they'll just, with a little bit of moisture left, they'll come right back. All right, so that doesn't take long at all. Now you're not chopping. The recipe calls for 3 to 4 onions that you have to stand and chop and cry over. Notice this did not take any time at all. What did this take? 2 minutes? Boom. All right, so here's what happens. You take some oil. It does not matter what kind of oil. This is just canola oil. And you're gonna put this in here, and you're gonna want this to be greasy. So you want it to be a lot of oil, not a lot, but you know what I'm saying, just more than sauteing. Normally, if you're doing this with fresh onions, you would be sauteing the fresh onions in this oil. But we're just kind of doing it a little different. We brought it back to fresh, if you will. So see, that's kind of oily, kind of greasy. Hopefully you can see that. Let's see if I can get down in there a little bit more. I'm trying to do, I need one more hand, and then, but then I'd want one more, right? So that's what you're gonna do. It's just kind of in there, you can see the oil kind of sitting on top of it. All right, put that back. Then you'll take some vinegar, doesn't matter what kind, I use apple cider vinegar, and you're just gonna pour this in until the onions are kind of floating. Not quite floating, but a little bit floating. I need just a little bit more. Oh, that goes right up your nose. So see how they're, yeah, between the oil and the vinegar. Let me have you look again in here. See that? They're kind of floating here. All right. Now at this point, I can turn off my heat. And what I'm gonna do is actually put in cornstarch. You've noticed nothing's been measured. So the cornstarch, not cornstarch, it's cornmeal. I'm just gonna sprinkle this on here. You can either use cornmeal or you can use flaxseed meal. Flaxseed meal. And you're just gonna kind of knead it, this meal, into your onion mixture. See that? And you want it to be kind of pasty. The meal, what happens is that the cornmeal and flaxseed meal, it has a lot of fat. And so it's going to absorb the heat. It's going to absorb all these oils, the volatile oils that the onions have in it. And it's gonna hold the heat so that when you put it on your chest, it doesn't cool down. You can use flour if you're in a pinch. It just won't have the same medicinal properties, but I think it's worth a try if that's all you have. Okay, so that's it. I've just made my poultice. Now the poultice part of the poultice is, let me just move that away. You're gonna take a piece of cloth. Now I have, this is an old, it's not an old dish towel, but I got these dish towels on purpose. It's just a thin little cotton dish towel. Hold on, let me get rid of this text right here. Okay, this is just a thin little dish towel that I actually got when I was making goat cheese, and this is how I would strain out my goat cheese. So I recommend having these little cloths. I think I may have gotten them at IKEA. You can use those thin diapers, anything that's made of cotton like that. And I keep these on hand because they're good for bandages, all sorts of different things. You can also, I have a pillowcase. You can use a pillowcase, a piece of flannel. You want it to be, probably cotton is going to be your better. You want it to be a good natural, like this is probably not 100% cotton, this pillowcase. The flannel is. So have those on hand and then just wash them, and that's your kind of your rag, your poultice making material. I actually have those. So, so here we go. You're just going to take what's the mixture and you're just going to put it in here. It's hot. Oh, it smells so good though. And then you're just going to kind of, I kind of push it into a kind of a squarish. Can you see what I'm doing here? Hopefully. There we go. Who's talking to me here? Thanks for teaching. Oh, thank you. We don't need them right now. I'm just teaching about it. So you're just going to kind of push it into this, and that's all you do. Boom. So it's there. It is very hot because it's hot. Hello. Fold it up like a burrito, like this, and then fold it and fold it. It doesn't have to be pretty, just have to get the job done. And on the back, you can see it's already starting to soak through. You're going to want a bare chest, whoever needs it, and you're going to put it flat on this your bare chest. It's hot. So if it's for a child, you might want to wait just a little bit, but the heat will seep through, and then you just put it on their chest, flat, and kind of push it. You want all air bubbles, everything, and just push it on their chest and let it sit there and let them smell these, the vinegar, the onions, all sorts of different things. And it just feels good, even just holding it, smelling it, it feels so good. And that's really all you do. You can also, did I show you this already? You can save them. I think I said that. I don't remember. You can save them and use them like one more day. It is food, so you want to get rid of it eventually. Any ailments other than a cough? Any ailment for the onion poultice? Well, I mean, you're looking at like bronchitis, anything that has to do with congestion in the lungs. And once you've used this one, you can actually reheat it and have that child or person turn over and put it on their upper back as well. So you're getting both sides of the lungs as well. And here's something that a dear friend who was a nurse of mine taught me, that when you have that kind of congestion in the lungs, you want to cup your hand like this and then bang on your chest like this. And that helps to expel some of the mucus and get it to the point where it can be coughed out. Like I said, you can save it for a couple days, microwave it, only use it one more time, and then get rid of it and start all over. But if you have these kinds of things, like freeze-dried onions and or dehydrated onions, you can do this. This is so easy. Cornmeal, vinegar, oil, and onions. You got water, hopefully. And then you have a natural remedy to help with coughs, and it really does feel very good, and it's good for you as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Gather these things so you have them ready for you. If you have any other questions, please drop a comment. I love natural remedies, and I have some more ideas as well that I want to show you, how to make cough medicine, and a couple other interesting ideas that we can use our food storage for. So it's not just for eating, it's for healing too. Enjoy your day, and thank you so much for your participation. Bye.